Hey guys, first and foremost, I kind of want to go over with you about the importance of organizing your file and making sure that you create folders within your file so everything's nicely organized. And remember to create a file, it's just right click, so you can press Control and click, and then New Folder. And right away you can name that folder. And then if you want to put anything in there, you can just drag and drop that in there. It's as easy as that. Okay, so I am going to delete that because I don't actually need that folder. That was just to show you. I am now going to show you kind of how to apply the effects to your movie that you created from Photoshop. So I want you to go ahead and on your keyboard there is a series of 6 squares on a button at the top of your keyboard. If you press that, that will open up your Launchpad and you will have all your apps that are on the computer. Now if you take your mouse and you swipe the ball on the mouse, or else if you press down here, you can press the right one to the right, and then that's where you'll find After Effects CC. So we're going to go ahead and open up that program, and it may take a few minutes. Be sure that a lot of your other programs are closed because it does take up a lot of RAM to open up this program, so make sure that a lot of these other things are closed out. Looks like I didn't save it. Have something that's closed out. So we're going to go ahead and open that up. And the first thing that will pop up is this message, and you just want to press OK. And then here is where you can start to create your project. So we're going to go ahead and type in new composition, and it will bring you to this screen. So ideally, we're going to be creating somewhat of a small movie. The presets here are for movies that would be shown, on really big screens. The average screen per se, like on your phone or whatnot, would be these presets. If you want to do something bigger, so it's a little bit more clearer, you are more than welcome to. This will create a little bit more clear effect, and you can always downsize that. So let's go ahead. How about we just, click HDV as the preset, and then down here is your duration time of your video. You can always go back and edit this. It's always good just to put in longer than what you think it is, because you can, when you render it, you can always cut down on the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put let's say a minute in. And if you want to choose your background color, you can, but since we are placing a video on this background will not be seen. So we can go ahead and press OK. So here's where we're going to place our video, and that's our kind of where our video is going to be shown. Now, our first step is to kind of get our files into Adobe After Effects, and that's going to be over here under Project. So either we can go File and import these from the destination on your computer, or you can actually just open up that viewfinder file and you can drag and drop them into your project area. So I'm going to go ahead, this is the video that I created in Photoshop from all my pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop that into my project area. And again, I am just going to go ahead and drag my music soundtrack that I want in my project area as well. So those are the two things that we're just going to be working with. And I'm going to first drag my music down. It's going to be pretty long, and you're going to want to make sure that it starts out at the 0 seconds because you want it to start right away from when your movie starts. So we're going to just drag that, and you can simply click and hold and drag that right to that red bar right there. Then we're going to come up here, and we want to drag our footage that we made in Photoshop in there as well. And we want to drag that right over to that. Okay, so now do you notice that our footage, I just clicked on that layer and it shows up a little bit here, but see how it's a little bit bigger than our workspace area that we have created? So we're going to go ahead and press Command and the minus sign up at the top of the keyboard to kind of zoom out. And we are just going to click and hold the corner of the box and kind of downsize that so it fits that screen area. Now if you press Command plus sign, then you're able to zoom in a little bit. I kind of like it at that size. So now you have your first layer of footage. What I want you guys to do is at least have above 4 layers of these. So what I mean by that is we are going to copy and paste this same layer, and we're going to add effects to it so it will keep playing. Okay, so by doing that, we want to make sure that this is highlighted. So just honestly just click on it, and then you're going to press Command C and Command V for copy and paste. And we can slide that over so that way it's right next to it, so that way when we go over, you still have that footage over there. So if you went off, then you know that footage is gone. So we're going to do that again. Copy and paste, Command C, Command V, and we're just going to slide it over. Okay, so now we have 4 sets of layers of the same footage. And right up here is the length of what your video is, and we're around almost about a minute. So now I kind of want to show you how you can actually put your video in reverse. So right here it's the same way, and now we're going to put this video so it reverses. So by doing that, you can right click, and right click is Command and click on your mouse. And we are going to go up to time and time reverse layer. And now see how that little red area comes below your layer? That means your layer, video layer, is now in reverse. So see how it's rewinding? I know it's kind of blurry. It takes a while to render on After Effects since it's such a huge program. Okay, so now I have that reverse, and now I want to put this layer also in reverse as well. Time reverse layer. So it's every other layer. You can do this however you want. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to apply effects. There are a ton of effects here. You can kind of go through them, experiment with all of them. If this area does not show up right here, you just simply go up to Window and then press the effects and make sure that that has a check mark by it. So let's press that and it will show up over here. So we have effects and presets. So I'm going to, you can also type in effects. If you go Google search different After Effects effects, and it tells you what effects are what, then you can just actually simply put a search in right in the search bar, or else you can just go in and simply kind of just experiment with these. I'm gonna just put it, I already know what effects that I want to apply to mine, so I'm gonna simply just kind of type this in. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to drag CC Lens onto my first layer, and that is going to create a lens flare kind of idea. So I just literally simply clicked it and I held down the click so you could drag it onto your layer, and then you let go. So once you drag that onto your layer, the way to find out that it's on your layer is it will be right up here under Effect Controls, and this will pop up. So notice that you have on each layer this little down arrow. And we're going to go ahead and you have Effects, Transform, and Audio. We're just going to go ahead and look at the effects. And that CC Lens that I just pulled on top of my layer is there. We're going to pull that down as well. And this is where you can kind of manipulate you can kind of manipulate the keyframes as into when you want this effect to happen. So see how you can manipulate the size? So we want to kind of animate that. So I kind of want to start out real small from the beginning, and I'm going to press this little timer, and then that's going to put a little keyframe right here. What that does is it tells my layer that that's what the shape that I want to start with at this point in time at 0 seconds. So I'm going to drag this a little bit over, and then around 5 seconds I want that circle to be all the way open. And it keyframes it right in there. So see how I just animated that? Okay, so now I'm going to bring it back to the beginning, and I'm going to drop down this menu and I'm going to kind of experiment with what this does. So that kind of makes it into a square. I don't know if I like that. There we go. So you kind of just need to play with your effects up here. Okay, so now on my time reverse layer, I'm going to put a different effect on it. So make sure whatever layer that you're working with, you want to click it, and then you want to come up here. Since I already know what effect that I want to do, I'm going to do flow motion. And I'm going to click, hold down the mouse, and drag it on to that layer. So again, your effects will pop up over here, and we're going to just begin to animate that. So I'm going to minimize this layer so it doesn't make me too confused, and I'm going to drop down this arrow over here. I'm going to click Effects, and I'm going to click down on the flow motion. So let's kind of experiment with what this does, just with the angles. So that's kind of cool. So I kind of want to start this out. I'm going to reset that so it's normal, and I'm going to start this out right in the beginning of this layer. And how to do that is I'm just going to press the timer, and again we're adding those keyframes in there. See how those little triangle or those diamonds pop up? That's adding a keyframe. That's telling your layer that this is when you want to start. And I'm going to drag this over to about the end of the layer. It's a little bit before 30 seconds. And then I'm going to keyframe in a couple different things. Let's see what that does. And if you ever want to play what you do, all you do is press the space key. And it will kind of show you a little bit what will happen. It will play it, but it will be really slow because down here this green loading bar is rendering it. So if you go back and you press that key over the space key over that green, it will be a little bit faster and show you the actual real speed of the video. Let's watch that again. Pressing the space key bar. It's pretty cool. I like that. So again, you can do that to each layer by adding effects from right here. Once you're done with your layer, you want to make sure that you added the music. So this is my music right here, and that's fine. So at the end of my video, it looks like it ends right here with my layer. So I'm going to bring this red marker and I'm going to just, you want to click on it and drag it all the way to the end. And I'm going to go ahead and press N on the keyboard, and I want you to notice what happens to this little guy right here. See how it moved over? You want to do that so that way that's going to be the end of your video when you render it. So now we're going to render our video, and what rendering means is it's going to create it into a .mov file. So we're going to come up here and press composition, and we're going to press add to render queue. We're going to press lossless because this is our output module. We want to make sure that our audio is actually turned on. We're going to press OK. And then we're going to put output, and we want to make sure that we're naming our video. So I'm just going to call this demo screen test. And I'm going to make sure that I save it in my demo tutorials created for you guys. I'm actually going to put the date on it as well. I think it's the 1st today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And you want to make sure it says QuickTime right here. Save it. And now you want to come up here and press render. So rendering this video, depending on how long your video is, could take, you know, anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes. So you just have to be patient with it. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.